Colin, can you hear us okay?
I think I can. Can you hear me?
Awesome, yes. Thank you so much for coming. Can
Yes,
you
thanks for the invitation.
yes, can you introduce yourself to folks and tell the audience who you are and what you do?
Well, uh, my name is Colin Anthony Crew. My spiritual name is Iwasue Shoryu Shunipa Sinkali. I'm originally from Guyana, from the Wipishana tribe, which is south of the Rairoma River, which is connected to the Amazon River. Uh, I'm also an Amerindian, which goes in the categories of those different names. So first you're an Amerindian, and then there's the different tribes that you're connected to. Also connected to the Taino tribe, which is, I guess if you could see that I'm pointing to Mariposa Coyote over there, she's also from that tribe. Um, I am an indigenous medicine man. What that means is that I work with different plant medicines. This has to do with mind, spirit, and body. Um, Not so much having to do with so much of the esoteric conversation, but more of the realer healing conversation. Um, my focus when it comes to using plant medicines and healing is about like getting to the roots of things and started from there. And so the upgrade is really a downgrade, if you understand what I mean. Letting go of things to be able to start from a safer foundation, a more grounded foundation. And myself and Mariposa Coyote, we work together, facilitating ceremonies and different types of workshops, not just plant medicines, but different types of workshops all over for different like-minded people and people who are called to doing this work. One of the things, because of the popularity of a lot of these medicines and just this, the rise of these healing modalities, um, it is very powerful. These medicines can be very powerful and life changing. Um, they're not for everyone, and not everyone is ready to change their life this way. And so it's a very important thing to think about for anyone who is desiring to come towards plant medicines for healing. You've got to start the healing already before you step towards these things, and then it can really help you. But if you're just looking for something to help you, then the journey is much more challenging. So,
Mhm.
and I am a father of two.
Before you
I
go,
am. Oh, go ahead.
hold on. Before you go on, I just
Mhm.
want you to explain plant medicine a little bit for the back of the room, for those of us who have never heard of plant medicine before. What is plant medicine? And then
Well,
there's a range of plant medicine as well, from Aya to, other, the father plant as well, Palo
mhm.
Santo. There's some others. So can you explain that to us a little bit?
Well, yes, because you're correct. There is a wide range of different types of medicines, and sage and copal and palo santo would also be categorized as a medicine. Um, these the medicines that I'm speaking of, they're in a list of medicines called entheogens. Entheogens are plants on this earth that have, um, for lack of a better phrase, more of a direct contact with the mysteries, with what is known as mystical, and also what is also known as spiritual, but not on the level of books, but beyond that. And so these these plant medicines under the category of entheogens, these medicines are the ones that are in the category of transformational medicine, meaning that for the reasons that they have been left here on Earth, or they've been planted, or etc., or they've evolved, because some medicines have evolved, and it's for us because so many parts of it, of these medicines, all the way down to its chemical makeup and compounds, match ours. So that is just one of the scientific and biological reasons why these medicines, we use these medicines, because um, their makeup, the makeup of it, not only benefits us but matches our DNA structure, our chemical compositions as well. So yes, entheogens, and so ayahuasca is one. San Pedro, which is a cactus, is one. Peyote, which is in the San Pedro family, is one. It's also a cactus. Um, Bufo, which is a frog medicine, is a chemical from a frog, a secretion. That's also a medicine. And there's a list of other medicines from ibogaine, iboga. Um, their their roots, like sananga that you put in your eyes, the juice from that root to help clear your visions. They're plants that help to not only unlock us, but to heal us. And so, to a plant, healing us is removing what was not original. Healing us to a plant is cleaning out the buildup toxicity of our emotional makeup. Healing us to a plant is reminding us that we're not our story. So at the end of the day, most of our lives are held by a story. Most of our choices are held by a story. Most of our decisions, most of our problems is a story. At the end of the day, what you do or don't may be based on a story. But then your life is ruled by a story, not the ones you make, but the ones that haunt you, the ones that come for you, the ones you can't forget. But then we forget at the end of the day that we are the creators of those stories nonetheless. So it's almost like these plants are just reminding us that, hey, take back your power. Why are you giving your power to a story? And
Mm.
so, it's much more complex than that, but that is the simplicity of a chemical conversation. So these are
And
what these
what does it
plants are
do?
actually really doing. What was
What does it,
that?
you know how they say that it's like a hallucinogen, and you go into an alternate reality and are able to
Yes.
see, and hear and feel, spiritually, energetically. So, can you describe that journey? Is there a describing
Well,
it?
I could the best way that I could say the best way I could describe the word hallucination. Again, we've got to remember that most of the words that we're using are borrowed and taught.
Mm.
So at the end of the day, we are in a hallucination right now.
Mm.
We're all tripping right now at the end of the day. Life is a chemical release. At the end of the
Mm.
day, if seeing something is a hallucination, then we're tripping right now. So at the end of the day, a hallucination, in definition to a ceremonial experience, could be the combination of everything that you've ever seen, felt, heard, and experienced. Leaves a stain, leaves a mark, there's a recording, there's a video, there's a trace in you. Everything, everything. Can't forget a thing. Not forget, but it's hard to recall. It's still there nonetheless. Your memory can be jogged. So when you are in an ayahuasca experience, your life is a whole freaking quilt of moments. Like if you were to take a video of your life and turn it into pictures, you would have billions and billions and billions and billions and billions of screenshots. Billions and billions of screenshots. So some of those screenshots are part of a moment, and that moment is part of another moment. And the catalyst of that is what you might call trauma, what you might call pain, might call whatever it is. It's there. It releases chemicals. Those chemicals are not the ones that you're born with, but the ones that were created from that energy. Those chemicals are not necessarily good. Those chemicals are now part of your system and given power and build to become something else. That's just one frame, one frame. So now, what these medicines do, they understand that that frame or the, out of a 10,000 frames, there's 6,736 frames that are not in harmony with the rest of them. There's that moment in your life, and whatever the hell happened, blah 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 blah, boom. That those moments in your life when you did something, didn't do something, could have done something, whatever it is, it was not harmonious. So that's recorded. It's in you. It'll live in you. Everything lives in you. But that moment there has been wreaking havoc in the way you move, the way you speak, the way you listen, the way you react for a really long time. It's not you. It's a domino effect. It's an echo of a trauma. But that echo could take your whole life at the end of the day. One little thing. So again, the medicine will go to that moment, and sometimes you're in ceremony and you'll suddenly see this moment when you're like 15 and there's this girl and you're supposed to do this thing and you're like, fuck it, and you didn't do it, and then she got hurt, and then you're like, boom, 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 you didn't care. And from that moment on, you just started hurting women. And it's not going to show you the last 15 women you hurt. It's going to show you that one moment, because that was the root of all of that. Now, if you come to ceremony ready to heal, when you see that, you're going to go, oh shit. And by the grace of God, something will hit you and you will start a course correct, understanding what you just saw and why. Hopefully, you'll be smart enough to do the math and go, wait a minute, I'm sitting in some space like this, and I drank some liquid in a cup. And I know this has got to be God, because I'm seeing myself when I was 15 doing some fuck shit. And I understand that something has been tracking my ass for whatever amount of years. And it came all the way back to tell me, look at your ass. This is why you're still doing this. This is when you're with God. When you're moving with God, when you see shit like that, you will know that God is speaking, and you will know. You will feel. You will know. You will know. You will know when God is speaking. Always. And you won't hear shit. You won't be like, oh my God, I saw. It will rattle your mother freaking bones. It will rattle your soul. So the medicine's purpose, one of it, is to, through the chemical resetting, is to find those moments in your life where disharmony is still ruling your shit right now. That's everybody. I don't care how glossy your story is. Your story might be glossy, but your house might be messy. And that's just real for many of us in the bigger reality of this journey called life. But we're just desiring to just keep on cleaning. That's just what makes it so much fun. Just keep on cleaning, have fun with it at the end of the day. Do you know what I mean? Because one moment you pause to say you're dirty, then you might be dirty for a really long time. But this is what this medicine is trying to
right.
help us do. It's a story, and you've got to learn to heal your stories. And so that's one of the reasons why you would come to this. It's because you're coming to heal your stories. Not about like, oh my God, I have this problem, this issue, this whatever, this trauma. You can use all the words you want. At the end of the day, it's the story that needs to be healed. And you've got to figure out how and when and where that starts. So you could go talk to 100 people and take 55,000 workshops and still not get to know yourself. But sometimes when you go and have these experiences and you are with you, sometimes you have to be with you in a powerful way. Like fucking learning, reading stuff, that's not enough. Taking workshops at times is not enough. Going into a space where it might scare the fudge out of you, But at the end of the day, you realize that if you don't test some part of you at some point in your life, you're always going to have the same story. So this is again one of the reasons, and I was trying to kind of go into why you would come to do these medicines, and again, like, what would you say to the person who's like, oh, I think I might want to do this? That's what I would say. Everything I just said is what I would say to a person who's desiring to walk towards plant medicine. You got to be really ready to heal. And some of the best people that come towards this are the ones that ran into a wall. They've had enough. You finally had enough of yourself. You can't keep saying I'm good. All the sentences, all the freaking phrases you use, for other people, it's not even working anymore. You don't believe it. It's for those people who realize that, you know what, let me just give this to something bigger than whatever the hell's in front of me. Let me, you know what I mean? Because we could talk God and spirit all day and still not trust it. So that's it.
You say some people are not supposed to take the medicine. It's for some, but it's not for others. How do you determine that? How does one determine if the medicine is for them?
Well, some of it is really simple. There are people who go through a certain life where they have to take pharmaceuticals to survive. It's not for them, especially if they've been doing it for 20 years or something like that. It's not for them. There's some people who have psychotic issues. That's not a person I would send straight to ayahuasca or a certain medicine. I would want them to have a lot of psychological work done first before coming to it. People who, my grandma used to say, don't play with God. But you can play with God. Why? Because God is going to play with you. Meaning, when you think you're playing with God, God is just playing along with your ass. So there's some people who, oh, I want to heal. I'm ready. I'm tired. I'm done. It's time for me to rise, etc., etc., etc. That's just a bunch of fucking, it might as well be a meme. Because you may have not prepared the steps to actually really enter into the healing. And at the end of the day, you might not be ready to let go. Like, there's some things that you need to start doing before you start coming into healing you. Like blame and a whole bunch of things you've got to start like letting go to actually really start, because if that stuff, because it's an energy that, like, if depending on how strong it is in your journey of life, you know what I mean? That definitely is something that is the beginning of your healing. So it's just really watching yourself. Like, and when I say healing, I want to like clear it up. It's not as if something is wrong with you when we're talking about healing. For us, it's for every single one of us. It's just, again, the story. It's resetting your story. No matter what's happening, it might be a gift from God, but you can't know depending on the story. And we say nowadays everything is a gift from God. So it's the best way that I could say that. But again, having to do with coming towards medicine, it's a humility, a certain part of you that just needs to be like, I just don't know shit, man. All I know is that I can't deal with this anymore. All I know is that I'm just tired, just whatever the fuck it is. You know what I mean? I thought I was protected. I bought all the things. I wore all the things. I did the thing. I did the spell. I did the thing, and all the shit's still happening. I'm trying to figure out. I spent $3,000, like, going to like 500,000 people to like figure out, who's gonna help me. Until I sat down and realized it was me.
Yeah.
And I didn't need anything. I didn't need to hold. I needed to hold me. Maybe I needed to put me on. Because, God forbid you lost all the power amulets. if you lost anything
Yeah,
that you thought that was going to protect you, then you're in trouble. So at the end of the day, the real healing is not needed protection in the way that you think you need it. If anything, you want to protect yourself, from your own mental process. So I think that's one of the things too that the
absolutely.
medicine helps. It's just, you know, it's not as complicated, but it is complicated because we're talking about our mind. So yeah, that's the best I could say about it.
Can you tell us your journey? How did you get to be a shaman? How did this journey come about for you?
Wow. I'm gonna give you the short version.
Okay.
I needed I needed help. Um, I went to go clean my body in the jungle. The medicine decided that I wasn't gonna leave for a little while. My body got so weak I couldn't leave. And from that moment on, I was in an apprenticeship, but it wasn't of the mind. It wasn't a mental apprenticeship. It was of the spirit. It was of the will. It was of awareness. And I say it that way because if anyone ever said, so could you like break it down for me exactly how your apprenticeship went? I would go, no, because it wasn't a course
Right.
that anyone could take. It was between me, creator, and those medicine women and my life, like my health. It was my apprenticeship was birthed from love, from care, um, and then because they cared for me when I couldn't do squat, I turned around and did the same to them. So then it was like, wow, you could leave, if you want. And I was like, no, not yet. And I kept saying not yet for months because I realized that I was receiving something. So it was almost like the moment where they did say, okay, now you're learning, was way into the process because they just simply saw that I liked being there. It had nothing to do with status, with title, with anything, with nothing. It just had to do with, sure, I'll wash your clothes and then go pick the thing. Sure, I'll go to town and get you some phone cards. Sure, sure, sure. You ever saw that movie Yes Man with Jim Carrey? That was me. I just
Yeah.
kept on saying yes. I just kept on saying yes for everything. Why? Because I did the math. Yo, you saved my motherfucking life. I'm from South America. We
Beautiful.
don't, we don't need to do, we don't need to do a lot other than something in return. So for me, that's how it began. And um, when I left to come back to the States, when I went back to the jungle, that's when I felt that I consciously was like, okay, let me go into my training because I went to do diets, to do dieta, and but again, the origin story of it was just life, was just realness, was just you know, and in Peru, it's really simple. They're called onanias, so they're not called shamans there. They're called onanias, and
Mhm.
because the word from somewhere else, so they don't even like to use it. Um, at least they don't. Um, and then they they're very they're very about the medicine doing the work for you. I mean, allowing the medicine to do the work. So they're not into coddling, and they're not into like you know I don't know. The best way I could say it, because I'm from South America, they're not in the Western mind, which is of a like, let me just make sure from A to Z that you're okay. They'll always check on you, but they're like, here, you're here to grow up. This is when you go to the jungle. You're here to grow up, so I'm sorry. You know what I mean? We'll know when you need help. If you call for help when we know you're just learning to help yourself, we're gonna sit here and let you figure that out. And it's a very powerful classroom because until you go certain places, you'll know how easy you have it. One place
Mm-hmm.
on many scales of things. So, but yeah, for me, that's how it started, and I think a lot of it, the birthplace of this work for me is my love for my daughter. That's the best way I could say it. My daughter inspired me to continue doing this on so many levels, on so many levels. So that's the best way I could say it. She's like, yeah, the foundation of it for me.
Your inspiration. I love
Hmm.
that.
Hmm. And
And
also Mariposa Coyote too is one of the inspirations.
Andrea, yes, we're gonna get to talk to Andrea next. I'm so excited. Tell us a little bit. So you were recently on tour with Erika Badou. So how was that? That was so exciting to hear. I'm so happy for you, but it sounds like such a journey. And even your
Hmm.
travel around the world. So tell us a little bit more about that.
Um, it was a very beautiful experience. It was tiring at times, like really tiring. Um, it became at many moments a social experiment in like watching that world, watching those people, you know, the fans, just because you didn't have to like do the thing of like, oh my God, there she is, or whatever. You were standing there next to her, but just to like feel the energy. And I'm only speaking from my eyes, like feeling the energy of that thing called fan. Like it's a very powerful mother freaking thing. It's powerful as fuck. Like I understand what they when they speak about the cult of personality, what they're talking about. That shit is real. That shit is
Mm,
real. So, oh no, I was
yeah.
watching some people. They would have cut themselves for her. I was
Oh
like
wow.
wow. No, I
Wow.
mean like
Yeah.
hardcore fans. So that was really beautiful. Getting to spend time with her and the band with Mariposa Coyote. We had a lot of like really awesome backstage moments with them. It was just, it was a lot of fun. And we got to see and experience other sides of her. Like prior to like meeting her, our first experience with her was ceremony at her house. So we went there, we did ceremony at her house, and that was so that was yeah. So that was a whole like, oh my god, okay, like then you understood Badu. It's like Badu, okay, what the fuck, like the mystery of that woman, and then like a few things happen, in the crazy aspect of life, like um yes, that first time when we went to go do ceremony, it was a very powerful experience. I think we were like there 11 or 12 days at her house, and just before I left, um, her grandma passed away in both of her while we were both in the room. So anyway, like the day before I had to leave, we had to go to her grandma's house, and we ended up singing to her grandma for hours until she passed away. So that experience kind of like shifted a whole thing. I remember I was just sitting in that room, like whatever time in the morning, staring at everybody, staring at her and just like, what the fuck is going on? And looking at the bed and going, there's this, your grandma's right there on bed. She just passed away. And I'm like, what am I doing in this room? That was my thought process. Like, what the hell am I doing? But then after that, everything explains itself. It still explains itself on multiple levels. So I could say, for lack of a better phrase, meeting her has been life changing on so many levels. I got to see and be part of parts of her life that I know that she only shares with a few. Um, and so I'm honored to like have that experience with her. Um, Other than that, like I just honor the awesome freaking human being she is. I remember one of the first times that we met, we were talking. I was like, hey, I know some of your like hit songs, but I don't know all of them. And like I don't want to call you Badu. Can I call you by your name? Because in ceremony, I need to call you by your name. So from that moment on, I gave her a nickname, and then we just called her by her name, and it just became a very powerful family thing. So for me, there's a lot of things I could do by using her name, but no, she is a beautiful human being. I love her and her fiance Joe Cool. He's a cool individual. I love chatting with him, and so when you meet people like that, or you have people like that in your life, you just keep it really simple because they're just who they are. So it's awesome that I have such a relationship with her, but other than that, it's not as awesome as my relationship with my daughter.
Awesome. I love
So
that
that's just
you
real.
with your daughter.
Yeah. But yeah, so it's a powerful experience. We have this thing called Badou University, which is part of basically it is helping whether they're already signed musicians or unsigned musicians or just budding musicians, like anyone who's a musician that would like to go through a healing journey to have it affect their music. Um, it's what Badou University is for, and sometimes she'll be there at the Badou University retreats. Because at the end you basically sing the songs that you wrote during the retreat. Sometimes she's there as a special guest. Sometimes there are other special guests. Um, but it's a something for musicians, so I'm super excited about that. And other than that, like um, yeah, like I said, just keep it really simple. It's just a really awesome relationship, and it's affected a lot of beautiful things in life. But life is beautiful because life is beautiful.
Yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
Awesome. Okay, so this is my last question for you. This and for the sake of Earth Day, what are your beliefs about where we are as, as humanity, human race on this planet? Um, and what could we be doing better for our sacred Earth?
Mm, well, I can't say that I have an actual honest answer to that question. But what
Okay.
I can say is that meaning an answer filled with knowledge and wisdom and information that can back it all up. I got nothing like that. But what I am aware of, and again keeping it as simple as possible. One, God is good all the time. So that means any other time is still part of God, and then it has to be good. It's motherfucking Crayola. But at the end of the day, that's how we started. And sometimes it's good to go back to Crayola. Two,
Right.
our our own mental process is also our classroom. And history repeats itself just like when you have to go to summer school. So at times we're always going to summer school. Either way, we're still in class. Meaning that I could talk about all the bad things happening in the world, but why would I when I also know the world is good?
Mm.
I'm aware of many injustices, not only to my race, but many races. So I'm aware of injustice overall. I choose not to pinpoint my story because to me, personally, that empowers my connection to the story, life. So I just pay attention to that. And so from COVID to half of the things that have been going on, it's just the classroom is just trying to remind us about what to really pay attention to. Now, the key word is mental health. It's really just saying, look at you. Now, that's where we are. We're in a grander mirror. It's a beautiful thing because hopefully at some point, no matter what's happening, we'll say, damn, I'm beautiful, even with mud on your face. We're going into a
Right.
place, we're heading into a place of deeper and realer acceptance. Accept the fuck who you are. Don't let that shit come out when the light shines bright and now you're trying to hide. Accept you. Accept all of you, all your fuck shit to the point where you desire to heal it, but you're gonna heal it in a loving way, not in some like, oh my god, I don't want anyone to see me healing. Like fucking get over it. Get over yourself. That's it. We're heading into that phase. So, and many other phases, I see and I feel that everything's really good. Everything's beautiful, really. Do you know what I mean? Of course, we can talk about all the problems, but really, think about it. What happens every day? There's a newspaper, there's a television, and there's a whole bunch of different freaking streams and platforms constantly bombarding you with what's wrong. Why the fuck wouldn't you say anything else other than pulling you further and further away from God? You. Pulling you further away from truth, life, love, right? And then again, what's your favorite show? The one with all the drama. Why? Because
Right.
I'm married to that shit. And I actually need that to survive.
Mhm.
But then again, why the fuck would you want that to be part of your life? Why would you need drama unconsciously to survive? Well, we've been conditioned to a long time ago, but that's what it is. So everything is really beautiful when you peel off all the layers that's been placed on top of you. Constantly have a problem with something. Always, you know. So I say it that way because I feel we're all exactly where we're supposed to be. I mean, I could talk about all the possibilities of the future, et cetera, but that is on its way too. But now is really beautiful as well, with all of its things, all of it. And the more you can make your now beautiful, then you're already working on the future. You know, best way I could say it.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so
Mm-hmm.
much. Does anyone on the panel have another question for Colin before we rotate? The sage, goddess, anyone want to ask Colin a question? H.
Yeah, I do have a question. How do you keep how do you keep yourself like what's your view about like humbleness and humility and as you're like expanding, for instance, when you were on tour and things like that, like some people could get caught up in the moment and things like that, but what how do you you know, express that? And what is your advice to people who are growing and more attention is being on them in the spiritual um, community? Did I answer
Mm,
that properly? I think I did.
no. I totally know what you're saying. The best way I could say it is something that one of my teachers said to me. Um, the best position is no position. Then you can learn all the positions and be ready. So then you don't need to even say you're humble. Then you don't need to be anything.
Mm-hmm.
Then there's no need to be empowered by a title, a place, or words. It's all extra. Like if you said that, oh my God, you're so da 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 da, I would say thank you, but not because of that only, but because I'm grateful for what you're adding to what I'm also aware of myself. So I'm not needing to be refilled. It's extra.
Mm-hmm.
It's extra. And I don't need to be held up. So again, this is what he would say too. The best position is pole position.
Mm-hmm.
And this has to do with when we were in a ceremony in the teepee, with the teepee poles.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes the best place to sit is leaning against the pole because it's the most grounded thing in the space, and you know that it won't move. You might move, but it won't move. So again, depending on who you think you are, who you want to be, and who you're becoming, and what do you know about those three people, and who's important?
Mm.
Who's important, right? I would say it's always this woman here. Who you're becoming is
Who
so
you're
much more important
becoming.
than who you think you are at any moment, right? Because that moment will show you who you are, or who you're becoming. And if you don't pay attention, you might just become it, you know?
Okay.
So that's my. And it's like, again, there's no need to like say, there's no need to like, there's no need to show humility through words. When you don't say anything, that's the beginning of it, you know? Like when you're in a room, you might know whatever, how to do these 10 things. And then someone says, hey, I need someone. And you know that you would be the shit if you raised your hand. This room is filled with about 150 people. And you're just like, you're in the back. And you know this is your moment to shine. And you could do it 11 ways. So you're about to go up there and teach them. But you don't. You stay quiet and you wait. And you wait. And someone else raised their hand. And they go up and they do it. And they do it 5 other ways. But these 5 ways you've never seen before. But now you know 16 ways.
I like that.
And there'll be a moment where it'll be that time where you can go and get up and use those 16, but it's even knowing when. So if you're hungry for shine, you always raise your hand. That's
I like
it.
that.
Thanks for the question,
Thank-
H. Is that really your name, H?
His name is
Lesage?
Slick.
Yeah, I
Oh,
go
Oh no,
by
I thought
B.
she called you H.
Yeah, HMS. She goes
Oh,
No,
okay,
straight
right
that's
to
on.
Slick.
Right on.
thank you. Thank you.
You're so welcome. I learned that
Thank
from
you.
Mariposa Coyota.
Thank you so much, Colin. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you for your words. You're so inspirational. I'm honored to say that I have sat with you. I want to say more in service than anything else, but I'm excited to sit with you in ceremony one day for sure.
Same here. Looking forward to that
I'm,
day. It's gonna be awesome.
thank you.
Well
I'm
said.
just gonna have our sis Lesage come up for our halftime and give us a poem. Do you want to introduce yourself, sis, and tell the folks what you do and share your poetry with us?
You know, right now I am in this transitory space of exploration, and I am currently doing sound healing, and you
Mhm.
can go to my website at healersplayground.com. I offer other healing services as well, hypnotherapy, Reiki, things of that nature. But I'm really exploring the sound and its powerful effects, and it's
Mhm.
just been wonderful. And I recommend if you have access to sound bowls or someone who has them or tuning forks or anything, like really look into that. Yeah. So I'm Lesage, and I'm just gonna do a couple poems. And thank you so much, Colin, for your wisdom,
Yes,
your
yes,
medicine. I really appreciate you.
yes,
Thank you, Goddess, for having me. And I want to
yes.
acknowledge Goddess Music. We're wearing like the same outfit almost.
Yeah.
Mhm.
um, I thought it was really funny because a lot of the things he
Yes.
said was in the poems that I'm about to read. Okay.
Yeah.
So when he talked about, being yourself, but that's called change. I'm going to do two poems. That's cool, got it? You want me to do two,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Or
Go
one?
ahead, sure.
Okay.
No, you go ahead.
All right. So these are gonna be they're out of my book called The Rise of a Brown Woman. It's not
Mhm.
published yet, but it will be published next month. So
All right.
look out for it. Okay, so inner guru. Why must we continue to overlook ourselves, our inner selves, our inner truth? Unlock your inner guru. Your inner guru is pleased to guide you to be the best you, but you have to decide if it's best for you. Your inner voice is not to be feared. It is on this rather beautiful journey to be healed, but you would rather listen to a voice outside of you that somehow has established authority over you. This external authority has shut you out from yourself so much that when self says run, duck, hide, stand up, sit, snatch, jump, love, hug, kiss, miss, grieve, hold on, be patient, or just be, you are instantly confused and pause. Pause from life, decisions, and or reason. Though it could be just for a season, you deny your own inner guru. When it tells you that when he touches you, you are uncomfortable, or when she calls you, it's a feeling of uneasiness and not the in all cheesiness, just plain unrest inside calling you to look deeper inside. When it tells you that it's time to take a chill pill and you're working too hard, but you choose to keep going because you need those coins, and what could have been
Mhm.
avoided now a hospital visit and three surgeries later, forcing you to rest because your mind, body, and spirit needed it. Surely the spirit, the body, or the mind will get what it needs, whether you choose to listen to it or not. But most importantly, honor yourself and your own needs. If not, depression kicks in, preventing you from having any type of happiness, no matter what's going on around you. Never leave yourself to wonder what if, woulda, coulda, shoulda. Just listen to your inner guru.
Hmm.
And that is
Mm.
the
Nice, nice.
Nice. Snap, 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 snap.
okay.
Snap, snap, snap,
Nice.
snap, snap.
Thanks. So
Hmm.
change. Why, for so long, did I think I needed to change? Why, for so long, did everyone accept the idea that in order to change the world, they must change themselves? In actuality, there was no need to change self. There was only an inner need to accept self as who self is. There was only a need to break down the barriers to knowing self. That is the challenge we humans face on this thing called Earth. Challenge yourself to face yourself, and through the sight of self, will you see the world differently? You won't change the world by changing yourself. You only see the world through different eyes as you see self through different eyes. By default, you inspire others to see the world through a different set of eyes, but with the same eyes of a different perspective. There is no
Hmm.
place that is perfection or final healing if we still exist on this earthly plane. Our existence is perfection. There is only love, and love of self inspires love of thy neighbor. So let's inspire each other, one acceptance of our truest self at a time. Let's express ourselves as we truly are. That is freedom we all wish to have. That is the freedom we envy when a person speaks their truth regardless of who's listening. That is a person who has gotten in touch with their inner guru and they follow their soul to the end of the road, no matter the seemingly illusional tribulations. The love and acceptance of our own soul is only acceptance we should strive to receive, not the acceptance of humans who have not been open or taught to truly know themselves enough to not fear that your truth will hurt them or their loved ones, but instead inspire a more grandiose and joyous experience of the abundance we all have sought but did not know we already had. Therefore, do not seek to change, seek to be.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I like that. I like
Mm-hmm.
I
that.
love it.
Snappity, snap, snap. I like how that ended.
Snap to
Mm-hmm.
that.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
I love
I
that.
love it. Thank you, sis. Thank you so much.
And,
Love you. Thank you.
Love you, sis. Thank you.
Lesage, what is your
Stay
website
right there.
again?
A Healer's Playground. You can also follow me on Instagram at Lesage23.
Okay. Thank you.
You know, I have
Mm.
a smudge on my phone, a little dot on my phone, and when I'm like right here where I am, it gives me a bindi because I'm like jealous of your bindi over there. I'm like, okay,
Really?
he came on this thing with a bindi. I'm like, oh, there's a smudge there. Bam! That's where it
That's so divine.
is. Divine smudge. Oh God. Yes, thank awesome poem.
Okay.
It really
Thank
was.
you.
Moving on down the line, we have Andrea. Can you introduce yourself and tell the audience who you are and what you do?
Well, good evening. Yes, my name is Andrea. My spiritual name is Mariposa Cayota.
Gayota.
I work with that gentleman right there. So you can feel what I get on a regular basis, right? That energy and truth, always truth about self first and then what to do with others. I am a medicine facilitator, so I definitely work with plant medicine. Do workshops, we do ceremonies, sessions. Sessions are different from workshops, right? They're during shorter time span, not necessarily with all of the accoutrements that we do in terms of finding your space with the divine and creator. But because we are who we are always with creator. So it doesn't matter if it's a cleansing medicine. If you are spiritual, you will find something spiritual from it. And I'm here as a servant of self first, and then serve and facilitate to help other people. I also manage the team that we have, so most of the logistics I work with and manage. So it's a beautiful space. And thank you for your poetry and your medicine that you shared. It was really beautiful. Thank you. Yeah, really.
Yeah, tell us about that management, Andrea. How is it managing this kind of work? You know, what is it? What is tell us what is it like? You know, dealing with people, having to do with ceremony, the road. You know, because you're kind of a rock star. You know, give us a little backstory on you just knit ceremony together in like a few sentences. Let's hear
I
about
did.
Mariposa Cayota.
Well, sir. You know,
And now I'm going to the loo. I'll be right back.
all right. The fun, more challenging things is working with a medicine man with that amount of energy and experience. So not only did he train me, but the things that I brought to the table from my previous background in marketing management, I worked in education. So I am a researcher by trade because as an educator, it matters science as well as the spirit in anything I do. because I'm always looking to be simple in how I respond, right? So when we're on tour with a Badou, that doesn't stop people from asking, hey, can I get a house cleansing? Or hey, is there a ceremony to sit in? So navigating that calendar world during a tour and still trying to find space. So we did a lot of travel back and forth. We would jump on and travel with them on tour somewhere, and then we would fly back to Atlanta to come back and do that. Navigating everything down to the safety and waivers and follow-up calls and integration. I think integration is one of the most important things that we offer after a ceremony. Ceremony is a moment, a snapshot in time where you're connected, but it's what happens 10, 12 days after you've had that encounter with yourself and creator. So we spend time with you making sure that what comes up, what were your dreams, what were your emotions, your feelings, how did you interact with your family now that you have felt this newness of life or opportunities for yourself? Where does that fit in? And so we spend a lot of time after in the post with our integration packages that we have for people. And it's really a powerful thing. We partake also in medicine when we serve. So however many ceremonies we do, we're drinking also. So navigating the energy of that space with that cup of medicine and singing, we sing in Portuguese, French, Creole, Spanish, English, Italian sometimes, right? Like, what do we do when our own journey is happening? And how do we navigate that? And then still be there for whoever is sitting in ceremony. That's actually one of the most powerful transitions that I have felt. And then even then after that, still having my own integration, things that come up for me or all of us, in our space, and then sharing that with other people. What does that look like? So whenever we talk to someone, we're definitely speaking from the now. It's in real time. It happened to us too. We experiencing it too. Or at least we can empathize with where you are, because in some part of your journey, we were there and we saw something that resonates or reflects as a reflection, as a mirror for each other. And that to me is one of the more compelling moments of me, especially as a woman in my growth. So it's really a powerful thing for me. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm gonna ask you the same question too. What brought you to this journey to walk with Colin and to be a healer and an educator and even a facilitator behind the scenes?
My answer, I keep really simple. I was going through a spiritual level up, adjustment in another state. And my son had relocated to Atlanta, and my children, where I was, we were all going through some changes on our own. And my son became vegan, and he went from being pastors of like literally started up churches to now he's like, I'm not doing any of that. I'm doing this. And he was like really excited about it. And for me, the way I love, when I don't understand, I don't pull away, I lean in. So it looks very different for me. So we had family and friends that were like, I think he's going crazy. What's going on? I said, well, let me go check it out. And it was not easy because he was definitely saying things about his upbringing that didn't feel harmonious, right? And so I'm listening though, and instead of being hurt, I chose to hear where he's coming from. I did not like it. I did not like it. I'm like, what do you mean? I was a great mom. I did a lot for you. But that's not what he was saying. He's saying, I have to reject everything that I was taught until I determine what's real for me. Well, in that rejection, the way I heard it was, you're rejecting me. You're rejecting the way I raised you. You reject the way your dad and I raised you. And again, I chose to lean in. So I just kept hanging out with him, listening to him.
I love that you said that.
Fine-tuning where he was, where I am, and even adjusting how I perceived, because we had different perceptions of the same event. So then there was a lot of laughter, a lot of tears, a lot of, what the hell? That's not how that happened for both of us. And then there's the truth, right? The truth that is solid for both. And in that process, you know, he tells me one day, he's like, yeah, so happy Mother's Day. I want to take you to go do plant medicine with this guy. I'm like, wait, who, what? I don't do drugs. What are you talking about, right? Like, that was my thought process. And he's like, come on. And I came and I did a ceremony. I did a session with Colin. And it was so visual for me.
It was the Changa.
Yeah, it was Changa. My ancestors came through very, very clear. And I kept saying to him when I, you know, after the session, I kept saying to Colin, to everybody, I said, they're like Native American, but my people. And so he heard it the first time and he let it go. And then I said it again. I said, no. But they're like my people. I am from the Bahamas. So I am Arawak Indian. I'm Taino. So he goes, Colin says, wait, who are your people? And I told him, he goes, what? That's my people. What are you talking about?
Those are my people. Those are my people too, sis.
We had a major connection, but then
I'm like dark chocolate. She's milk chocolate.
You're right. I'm the light chocolate.
Yeah. Look at there, right? And in all transparency, I just never left. It's pretty much.
Oh, that is an awesome story. I love that your son brought you to Colin. I love that. I still have hope yet for my mother and my mother wound situation there.
Yeah.
We hope. You know, I can't wait. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to make it this time. You guys are in Miami.
To Miami?
For sure. Yeah, the next time, or maybe even in September. I don't know what you guys' calendar look like. Maybe I can woo you guys to come and do a ceremony for our sisters.
Well, absolutely. Again, we
have to be before the 17th.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. No, he's right. So I did send you some dates. Take a look at that. We have some. We have one coming up April 30th here in Atlanta. We have something coming up June in Texas. So we do travel. But you know, just check in with me if you're really serious and interested. You can go to our website, which is colibrihealin.com. Heal inward. So IN. There's no G at the end. colibrihealin.com. You can hit us up on IG, DM us, and we'll check in with you. But yeah, we do travel, as you know, as you see. But the thing is but the fun thing is there's so many different medicines that we offer. So some of our ceremonies are not just one plant medicine. The one in Miami is Wachuma. So that's different from grandmother vine.
Tell us the website one more time. Let's type it in. Can you spell it out for me?
Yeah, you want to spell Wachuma?
No, she said the website.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, Lesage is asking the website.
C-O.
Spell it out for me. I'm going to type
C-O-L-I-B-R-I.
L-I.
B-R-I. B as in boy.
Okay, B-R-I.
Colibri Healing, HEALIN.com. And that's all one word.
Okay, no G?
No G because you're healing inward. It's not a healing, it's heal in.
Heal in. Oh, I think I like that. I like that. Okay.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you something else. Okay, so before we move too far on and close you off, I do want to ask you about, about our Sacred Earth Mother. Do you have any advice for folks to get tuned into nature and
Absolutely.
what we can do to get tuned in?
For me, it's as simple as go be in nature and go play. I'll give you a really quick story. My grandsons were with me one day and I was teaching them how to manifest. True story. They were 8 and 10 at the time. Now they're 10 and 12. And they were here in my apartment, and we were walking to the store. So I asked the youngest one, he goes, I really want to manifest. What's that about? So I said, well, you just play with the universe. So he's like, well, what does that mean? I said, well, what do you want to manifest? And I said, make it fun, make it good. He goes, I want to manifest a 3-door car. Now, ladies, I'm telling you, I'm like, okay, what are we going to do, right? So we're walking through my apartment complex. I live here. I've lived here for over a year. Walking through, we passed this car, and I looked, and I backed up, and I said, boys, come here. It was literally a 3-door car. I've never seen it, ever. My oldest grandson at the time says, well, I want to manifest this big, beautiful butterfly, the most beautiful butterfly I've ever seen, as big as my hand, with all the colors in the rainbow. So we're like, okay. So we're walking to the store. We go, they get their chips. We come back. We're just hanging out. The oldest one is really sad because he can't find his butterfly. Mariposa, butterfly. I'm trying to figure out, like, what can I do? What can I do? And we're talking, and he's really sad. So his little brother goes, it's okay, bro. Don't worry about it. We see a yellow butterfly. We see an orange one, but that's not what he asked for. He said a butterfly with all the colors of the rainbow and as big as my hand. He's so sad. And, I'm trying to encourage him about just have faith and we'll keep playing. We get inside. He wants to sit and watch video games. I said, let's go to my back deck. It's a whole forest back here. I look out of the kitchen window. On my banister, one of the most biggest, beautiful, huge butterfly. She's sunbathing. I feel like it was just for him. Her wings were going up and down, up and down. So I call him, and he can't see. So he had to stand on a chair and looks out the window. He's crying. He said, it's for me. God did it for me. That for me is the most I can tell anybody. Have faith. Believe that your magic is for you. Trust yourself, and then trust that the universe has got you. It doesn't have to be magnificent or magnanimous. It just needs to be what you ask for. But don't control. We wanted to see it on the way. He had to trust me when it came to the window. It wasn't in the time that we thought, but it was right on time. You see what I mean? Right. That's how we should treat the earth. Everything we should do should be right on time for us to just take care of ourselves. Self-care and self-love without self-awareness, what's the point? Be aware of what you're asking for. Be aware of what you really want. Be aware of your thought process. If you say we love the earth, then clean it up, man. Don't litter. Look at I was out with a friend today, and a ladybug flew in my hair. And we were all so excited. She's like, oh my God, a ladybug means abundance and good luck. It is. She took a picture of it for me, and she's like, aren't you freaked out? I said, no, it's a ladybug. And I just kind of played with it, and it flew away, and then it flew right on my chest. It was beautiful. I don't know, but I was open to having an insect on my body. It's like, it's not going to freak me out. It's creator. Everything is me. I am you. We are each other. Let's take care of each other. And smile more, man. Smile. Be happy with life.
Smile. I love
Find
that.
something.
Yeah.
Yes. You ladies, all three of you came on the screen and made us smile. At least me, I was like, oh, look at that. Yeah.
Cool. And for anyone who just as far as our schedule is concerned, like when you go to the website, it doesn't clearly show you what our schedule is. So it's also that way too, because it's to deter some. I mean, everyone's ready, but that's just, that's what you're saying until you show up. Mm-hmm. So if you are ready, whether it's to go to one, create one, host one, whatever it is, there's a part of the website where you can go for a consultation, and it's from an hour on. So you have an hour to just talk about it. and we get an opportunity to like get to, and then from that moment on, your ceremony is begun, but then you get to show up in the best way that you can to, for it to happen or for you to show up or whatever it is that's needed. So it's
Thank you for
also for us
that.
because, yeah, it's also for us, it's important because I sometimes take a month off or sometimes more depending. Um, so again, like if you decide you're ready, you have to be ready. And if you're not, then it might be a while before I'm ready again. And so that's just about how we show up for ourselves. And you don't even need to go to ceremony. Boom, there's the first lesson. You know,
Yeah.
there it is. You don't
And
even have
things
to like do anything.
and So, when you come and
Yeah.
you want to talk to us, no, like today we had a young lady do a session with Frog Campbell with frog medicine. And as she's talking, she's saying she wants to do something else. So I said, well, before you leave, let's get it together. She's like, are you sure? I said, trust me.
Hmm.
While I'm talking to her, another woman is texting saying, hey, can I have, and she wanted the time slot and she's in our face. It's just small things like that. But you'll
Hmm.
see if you email me, I also have a link for you with our calendar. I don't publicize it often because it moves and fills up so much, but you can schedule some time and we'll show you this couple of blocks. And then
Yeah.
it is a consultation, but then there's also, we can customize it for you. Like say you want to be a host. You want to host like Trent, you want to host maybe about 15 people. Well, we'll talk about that and customize that. So there's a whole list of questions to
Hmm.
ask to let you know how to make that work. It's a lot of fun, a lot of work, but it's what we do and it's for the right reasons. My
Hmm.
reason is I know what I experienced. I know my daughters, my son, they're all leading some type of healing work in their own way. And I'm really happy that they're satisfied with their mom doing this, that they have all at some point come to experiment and try.
Hmm.
And
I
he's like,
love
Mom, what are
that
you up
so
to? He served.
Hmm.
Yeah,
much.
yeah,
Yeah.
You don't understand Andrea
yeah.
that much. Yeah.
So
Hmm.
I
Hmm.
got a question. So you said y'all are gonna be in Atlanta next week on the 30th.
Yeah, on the 30th, we have a ceremony on the 30th.
But that's
So
well, you just gotta talk to Andrea about that because it's another host. So we're not doing it. It's being
Yeah.
hosted by
oh,
someone
you're
else.
not doing it. Okay.
Well,
Yeah,
we are
we
the
are
medicine
doing it, but
team.
yeah,
I
there'll be a
got you.
difference
Yeah.
between ceremonies that you come to that we're hosting than ceremonies that are being hosted by someone else that we're conducting. So
Okay.
that's the
But
difference
I
with some
believe
of the
you guys
ceremonies.
are in Atlanta, no? You do a lot of work in Atlanta.
We live in
Is that your
Atlanta.
home
Yes.
base?
Yeah.
That's your
Yeah.
home
So
base.
Home base.
you can
We
also
have
book
to
your
do
own private
that.
retreat. Yeah, you can also book your own private retreat
Yeah.
where you would come to Atlanta and kind of do it on your own, or not on your own, but you would come and do it. And yeah, you just got to talk to Andrea because it's better that way. And it's almost like to come and do this, or if you're going to contact us, you've got to show up before you show up.
Right.
That's
Right.
about it. You got to
Hmm.
show up before you show up. So, hey, what are you healing? Oh, I don't know. I just really want to like, raise my vibration. Well, Coca-Cola, a lot of caffeine.
Do you offer mentorship, like where someone can come and study under you?
Um, we were doing things like that because of the nature and the way that our work is moving. Meaning that we have different things that now need more of our attention. We don't do it the same way. Usually, we have people who, if you are interested in working with healing medicines, then you've got to allow that medicine to work on you first. Whatever that means, you got to begin that, and then everything reveals itself because words are words until it becomes something else. So we all want to heal something, but you might need to start with you. So for anyone who's desiring to kind of like do any kind of apprenticeship or stuff like that, understand that it begins with you. We might be together, but it'll be with you for a while before you start. Again, like my apprenticeship, it
Mm,
was with me. I learned more about me than I did about ayahuasca, but then that taught me a lot about ayahuasca.
Right.
It was kind of crazy how that worked out, but I didn't know that. So that was what made it even better. I was like, oh shit, like everyone's talking about, grandmother vine, the spiritual vine. I'm like, oh shit, like, man, I don't crush the same way anymore. I don't feel the same way about these things anymore. Oh man, that fuck shit doesn't affect me the same way. I'm like, oh man, I just saw that. I just saw these people and nothing happened. I just, you know what I mean? Whatever it is, whatever your catalysts are that pulls you out of your great move, that's what you want to heal. So you could be with God. You could be like Coyote was saying. You could have a better conversation with the universe. And it's not about being in some place where everything is majestic. You're already there. It's called your life, right? Can't breathe, you'll know. Can't walk, you'll understand. Can't see, you'll understand more. That's
That's
it.
so
Simplicity.
Yes. So
But yeah,
divine.
So
so
Thank you.
just reach out.
You
You
guys.
can
Thank you so
on
much for
Facebook
blessing the
Messenger.
stage.
Yeah,
okay. I
We will
will.
definitely
thank
absolutely,
reach
you.
out.
absolutely.
I know the cool stage is in Atlanta, and
Awesome,
she's such a beautiful spirit, and she definitely we met at a retreat. So she
awesome,
does
awesome.
things as well as she has her own retreats also, and different spaces that she creates there in Atlanta also. Goddess Music is
Super
also
dope.
close
Awesome,
to Atlanta. She into Atlanta as well, and I can't wait. I want to bring you guys here. I'd love
absolutely.
it, and
It's all
so
gonna
you guys
happen.
Absolutely.
Yes,
also. And
that's
so
gonna be
I'll
so
talk
sweet.
to you guys offline about that too.
It is
Okay,
done.
Absolutely.
you've been
Absolutely.
quiet. Do you have any questions for um, Colin or Andrea before we close out? We're gonna have Goddess Music close us out. Okay, I think he's gone.
Oh no, I'm here. I'm here. No, I'm
Let's
good.
get
I'm good.
a big
Oh, he's there.
No,
uh,
yeah, we good. We good. I'm here. No, I'm here.
thank you again. Thank you, Andrea. Thank you, Colin. Thank you guys so much for coming. We got
Mhm.
Goddess Music, the big box.
Hey
Oh, she
y'all.
just put on her shades. Go ahead. Mhm.
I had to put on my shades for
Mhm.
y'all real quick. How y'all doing? My name is
That's about
Goddess
right.
Music. Thank you for the love. I am a recording artist. I am a healer. I definitely believe in the power of plants. Um, Changing what I put into my body changed my life. And so with my music, I teach you guys the processes that I used on how to shift my mentality to create the life that I wanted. And so I teach you guys like universal laws. I teach you how to reprogram, and I teach you like affirmations and things like that in the music. But I do something called getting naked on stage without taking off my clothes. And that is where I get really vulnerable about everything I have experienced in life in hopes that you will be
Mhm.
inspired and know that you can do this too. If I can change, anybody can change. So I'm going to do the first song. This one is called Mirror Work. And mirror work is a practice where you get in the mirror and you look yourself in the eye. You look into this eye for at least 30 seconds to a minute and you tell yourself, I love you. I trust you. Whatever it is that you're trying to heal, you want to tell it to yourself. A lot of times we're looking for validation and recognition from the outside, and that would never really satisfy us. It's not until we believe in ourselves that the shift happens. So this song is an easy way for you to remember to do your mirror work. It's a way to encourage your children to do mirror work. I'm a single mother of 5 kids, and all of my children have to do mirror work when they have meltdowns and they're going through it and they're fighting or they're trying to blame me or whatever. I'm like, did you get in the mirror
Get
today?
in the mirror.
Get in the mirror. So I'm gonna do this
Mhm.
song for you guys. And I want you to take my name out and put your name in. So when I get to the hook, I'm gonna say I love you, Ashe too. I want you to take Ashe too out, that's my birth name, and put your name in. Yeah. Hey. Can y'all hear the music?
Yes.
Hey.
We can hear you.
Okay. When I wake up in the morning, I thank God for my day. I look up at my money, put a smile on my face. Fill my aura, fuck my house, my car, myself, and my kids too. Fuck my money and my businesses and all good that come through. I meditate on my pillow, then I do some yoga. I eat breakfast, take a shower, God is taking over. Then I rub my body down in these expensive oils. Then I get up in the mirror to myself, I'm loyal. I be like, yo, I love you, I say too. Hey, I'm so proud. Thank you for coming through. I be like, yo, I said I love you, I say too. I think this is the start of something new. Good job, I say too, cause you consistent. I say good job, I say too, cause you got discipline. I say good job, I say too, cause you got talent. I say good job, I say too, because you balance. I love you, I love you. I love you, I love you. I love you, I love you. Won't place no one above you. I love you, I love you. I love you, I love you. I love you, I love you. Won't place no one. I check my crypto cause that shit go dummy. Ethereum is up, baby. We made some money. Bitcoin to the moon got me feeling lucky. That God's good for your soul, healing like some honey. I make money in my sleep. I taste like sugar, ain't shit sweet. Call me the trader of the week. Call me a money athlete. Call me a winner cause it's done. I'm working out, making it create my life because it's fun. The mirror, how the game's won. I be like, so I love you, I say too. Hey, I'm so proud. Thank you for coming through. I be like, oh, I said I love you, I say too. I think this is the start of something new. Good job, I say too, cause you consistent. I say good job, I say too, cause you got this. I say good job, I say too, cause you got talent. I say good job, I say too, cause you got balance. I love you, I love you. I love you, I love you. I love you, I love you. Won't place no one above you. I love you, I love you. Hey, I love you, I love you. I love you, I love you. Won't place no one above you. Yeah, yeah. So that was Mirror Work, and that's on my album. It's called Creating My Reality. So make sure y'all go get the album. Go get Creating My Reality. We are on all platforms. I'm also on my website is 13degreesofgold.com. 13degreesofgold.com. And let me pull up the other song for you guys. I'm also
What
a
does that
mystic,
mean?
right? Creating My Reality or 13 Degrees of Gold?
Yes. 13 degrees of gold.
13. So I've been through a lot of trauma and trials and tribulations in my life. And as a child, I always used to ask, why am I here? Why am I here? Why am I experiencing this? I tried to commit suicide for 14 years straight. I did not want to be here. I was like, it's time to go. And so in 2017, I took some vitamins that changed my life and I had an epiphany. And all of a sudden, I realized why I was here. And it was because gold, in order to melt gold, you have to raise it to 1,948 degrees before it's able to be poured and molded. So I realized all of the things that I had experienced and went through was the Fahrenheit heating up to the right degree so that I could become liquid, so that I could be molded. I could mold myself into what I wanted to mold myself into. And I'm a very colorful person. There's 13 different degrees of this gold. So that's what the name means. 13 is the number of the divine feminine. Gold is everything about me is gold. I love gold. Gold is my color. I resonated with gold, higher learning, prestige, powerful, prosperity. I am a money goddess. I'm a love goddess. So that's what 13 degrees of gold means.
Right on. Thank you.
Yes, and I'm gonna do one more for you guys. I'm also studying mysticism right now. So this song is about candle work called Light It Up.
Mm-hmm.
Another one of my faves.
Hey, no, name of candle and light it from the southwest side of 86. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, these hoes be talking, but respect me won't never check me. Ain't got no beef, they just mad. I'm too busy flexing. It ain't nothing that my candle cannot handle. I light it up from Texas to Alabama. Yeah, these hoes be talking, but respect me won't never check me. Ain't got no beef, they just mad. I'm too busy flexing. It ain't nothing that my candle cannot handle. I light it up from Texas to Alabama. Texas to Bama. I'm smoother than Dirty Diana. These bitches is rude, don't know how to act, so I keep their name on the candle. These bitches is prep, got shit on their chest. I'm about to teach them some manners. No, I don't fight with too much ice. I'm in your life in pajamas. I'm a goddess, get it straight. My magic hold a lot of weight. If you offering yourself, then I'ma put you on my plate. You can win or you lose. I'm dripping, yeah, I got the juice. Keep trying me, yeah, that's a problem. I call that shit self abuse. Yeah, these hoes be talking, but respect me won't never check me. Ain't got no beef, they just mad. I'm too busy flexing. It ain't nothing that my candle cannot handle. I light it up from Texas to Alabama. Yeah, these hoes be talking, but respect me won't never check me. Ain't got no beef, they just mad. I'm too busy flexing. It ain't nothing that my candle cannot handle. I light it up from Texas to Alabama. Oh, stop playing, go sit down, don't let that shit go too far. You gon' fuck around with me and find your ass in the jar. You hope wasting energy because I was born to start. Don't get sick trying to keep up. I always raise the bar. You cannot outburn me. Bitch, I wake up early. Once you push me across that line, believe I show no mercy. If I come, I click. Say, they ain't stopping for shit. That's some work taking oil, dropping everything I submit. Yeah, these hoes be talking, but respect me. Won't never check me. Ain't got no beef. They just mad. I'm too busy flexing. It ain't nothing that my candle cannot handle. I light it up from Texas to Alabama. Yeah, these hoes be talking, but respect me. Won't never check me. Ain't got no beef. They just mad. I'm too busy flexing. It ain't nothing that my candle cannot handle. I light it up from Texas to Alabama. Hey, light it up, light it up. Hey, the bitch, I'ma light it up. Yeah, yeah. Light it up, light it up. Hey, from Texas to Alabama, bitch. Hey. Yeah.
Hey, yes. Thank you,
You gotta
sis.
let them
Thank
know because they be on some trip shit sometimes. I don't believe in letting people slide. And when people cross your boundaries, you teach them because somebody else might do something worse. So I let them get all the work that they need so that they can heal.
Mm-hmm.
you.
You gonna get some work.
Gonna get this
I
work,
love
honey.
your energy, guys.
You gonna get this work. Come get this work. I got some
Thank
papers
you.
for you.
You
Fax
gonna
it,
get this
duplicate.
work, yeah.
Thank you,
If
thank
you
You
you,
gonna
can't
get.
respect the goddess when you see the goddess, if you can't respect it, you gonna learn today.
you
Gonna
gonna
get this.
learn
Back in the
today, period.
days, that's an old school. That's an old school phrase when they used to say like, "You gonna get this work." Come
Yeah.
here, Sonny. You gonna get this work. Now they're like, "Hey, come here. You're gonna get this text."
Nah, they gonna get this work.
You gonna get this email. You wait.
Uh, my mom and everybody, they're from Birmingham, Alabama, and my dad is from Nigeria. So you finna get this work, honey. You about to get this work.
Oh wow.
Yes.
You gonna get this with some toast
Yes,
as
yes,
well.
OG. I love it. I love it. I love it. Thank you,
Thank you.
goddess. Thank you so
Make
much.
sure you guys
Is
get
there
my
anything?
album. Again, it's called Creating My Reality. I'm actually on tour right now. I'm going to be in Houston. I'm leaving, going to Houston tomorrow. We just did Vegas. We were just in Brunswick, Georgia. So you guys stay
Nice.
tuned, follow me so you know where I'm going to pull up. If you guys want me to do your events, I do live events. I do Bigo events. I will turn up on Bigo is 5K for me to co-host your event or to perform for you. I'm also a writer. I write all genres. I even write in Spanish. So if you want any type of
Oh
music
nice.
written, I can ghostwrite it for you. It is 10K. it's 20K. If you want me to feature on a song, then it is 10K on Bigo. And I do this off the app too. So make sure y'all connect with me. Again, Creating My Reality, 13degreesofgold.com. You can download my album for $22.22. And all of that money goes directly to my 5 children. So you guys
You
can
better work.
I
You
like
are
it.
creating that.
Yeah.
Creating My Reality. Yes. And I would love to do a plant ceremony with you guys. Most definitely.
It'll happen. It'll happen. And I would love to write a song with you.
Yes, let's do it. Let's do it.
Mhm.
I'm
Mhm.
excited.
Mhm.
Let's do it. Yes, I'm excited. I
Yes.
wanted to come to Badu University. I want to you know, expand my thought processes and how I do everything. My mission here is to help people unleash the goddess within, whether they're men or women. We all have masculine and feminine energies within us, and we've been under the patriarch for so long. So I'm trying to help people remember how to operate in their goddess energy, which is the energy of attraction. Like a sunflower, we
Mhm.
just sit in the field and everything we need comes to us. The sun feeds us, the water waters us, the bees pollinate us, the spectators come and look at our beauty, and we don't have to do anything except for remain in our energy, stay rooted and grounded, and attract everything to us like a magnet. So that is my purpose.
Mhm.
I'm here to activate leaders, activate stars, wake people up, help them remember. And we will be at the top of the Billboard charts. This will be a global event. Everybody's gonna wake up. Age of Aquarius.
Mhm.
So
So I feel
yeah,
like I think the greatest part about everything that's happening now is that of this newer awakening of this patchwork quilt, like consciousness, this newer consciousness. It's like, some people think like, there's a whole bunch of new things to learn, but it's not. We're just remembering old things in a more powerful
right,
way. This real shit
right,
is starting to become even more powerful. And like,
right.
there's a million different ways we can say the same shit that we've been saying for the last 25, 30, 40 years. But
Hmm.
nonetheless, it still needs to happen. Nonetheless, it still needs to be
Right,
heard.
right,
And
right.
so I feel like one of the greatest things that is now becoming, for all of us, like, you could be celebrated up the wazoo from trophies to whatever. It doesn't matter who you who you who you think you are. Again, who you're becoming and what you're
Right,
being looked at, well, how you're
right,
being viewed.
right.
Um, one of the greatest parts of this journey for me is that I have been desiring to take out all of the fancy words and all the gloss out of the fucking hospital, because
Yeah.
that's what we are. All we are is a sacred hospital that you gotta come and take off all the fucking gloss, all the makeup. And then when you desire to reapply makeup, you might go, fuck it, I don't even need this shit.
It's so funny you said that
In
because
your life, journey.
I literally just said I was gonna stop wearing makeup when I perform. Like
Mhm.
I wear
Mhm.
makeup when
Mhm.
I perform, but it started with the hair. I used to wear weave, and I was like, when I started sending, my body couldn't even handle the glue and the chemicals or whatever. So I stopped wearing the
Mhm.
hair, and then I stopped wearing the
Mhm.
nails. I don't wear nails, and
Mhm.
so I literally, because sometimes when I put on the makeup, it makes me feel like I'm sick, like congested, or like my nose will run. Like I'm allergic to the makeup. I'm allergic to
Yeah,
whatever.
chemicals. Yeah,
Yeah, the
chemicals.
chemicals in the products. I'm
Well,
extremely sensitive. Yeah.
we're like I was saying to Trins and to Andrea and I were having this conversation. We were like, especially going into this year, because it's not going to be a loss, only because of life, but and also because of the university. The coolest thing about Badu University is that it's basically just like, yeah, any kind of apprenticeship or anything. It really is you being in your own motherfucking classroom about yourself. It's a deeper paying attention to you. And
Right.
so, yeah, for everyone, I'm looking forward to anyone and everyone that we collaborate with, because the greatest and the most important part of the collaboration is you doing your own work on yourself. Then that will make our relationship even stronger and it'll be more beneficial because you're not coming to me to tell me about you because I could give a fuck. I care about because of who I am. I'm the hospital. I'm not here to care about you or anything that you think about yourself. I care about what God has for you that you might not know that is going to be shown once your butt shit's gone. That's the only thing I can care about. Then the relationship becomes even more beautiful for that. So that's for all of the because then I'm here to empty pockets, not really do anything other than that. And so that comes with every relationship in that way. And that's what makes it more beautiful. Like I couldn't care less about how powerful you think you are. I want to see what God blessed in you. Because that story will never end. And the worst thing you could do is take that story to a place when you're still at a place. And for all of us, it's about that journey in learning what you say you can give to someone, you have to have given yourself at least 100 times. What you say you can do for a person, you need to be able to do for yourself 100 times. But not just in theory right away. Only why is because you have done it 100 times. The only way you can actually teach anything is by the most powerful amount of repetition. Trials and tribulation, that's just called life. Like at times we go, I've suffered a lot. And then my teacher would say, get in line. I've had lots of trauma. Get in line. I've get in line. Every possible story you could tell about what happened to you, get in line. Because that's not the real story. The real story is what happens after everything that's preventing you from the real story. And that's why you would go to the hospital. Right. So sometimes I say to people when they go, oh my God, I'm so looking forward to my first ceremony. I'm like, well, no one ever really wants to go to the hospital, but I understand what you mean.
Right.
Right? Because you're coming to a place to go way beyond anything you might know. And so for me, that's why I'm looking forward to every meeting, whoever I meet, I'm looking forward to that. Because I'm South American, like I'm just really simple. Like the only thing that impresses me is God. And I keep it that simple, and everything else is bonus. So, but yes, thank you, Trent, for this beautiful, beautiful conversation and this platform. And thank you for your beautiful songs. I love those bars. The bars are just, you got bars, girl.
Yes, let's connect. We can do a song together for sure.
I'm looking forward to that. And I love you, Kayota.
I love you back. We can't hear you.
I'm so sorry. I was on mute. I'm going to make sure that everyone has everyone's numbers after this. That would be such a beautiful thing. I would love for you guys to continue to connect, especially since you guys are generally in close in proximity. You're close to Atlanta, let's say in Atlanta. So that would be beautiful to where this goes for you guys. HMS, are you still here? Is he still in the building? I was going to ask him to play you guys songs. HMS and Goddess Music actually have a song together as well. They just they were together. They were shooting her music video and doing all kinds of stuff in the studio.
What? You have a video.
So that's awesome. Let me put you in the big box, H, and then H has another event to do after this, so I will let him go after this as well. Do you want to play that for us real quick?
Yeah, not a problem. So we just did because of 420, we did a smokers mixtape. We do it every year, smokers mixtape. We use that as kind of like a tool to be able to let people know information and all that. So it's a little turn up song. It's called Keisha.
All right, sweet.
Keisha. Find me by something like you freshman, 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 the blessing, blessing. When you smoke it down and groove it smooth, I be feeling good, Keisha, yeah, you make me move. Got my two-step shuffle, two-step shuffle. When I'm in trouble, here come Keisha on the double like whoa, whoa. Fire in the hole, blowing Cheerios, look like Sonic when I blow. Keisha, 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 I meet you, I greet you. Keisha, Keisha, find me vibing with a lady they call Keisha. See a little bit of sauce from Miss Keisha. Fill my lungs with the breath of Miss Keisha. Yeah, I'm talking about that Keisha. Find me vibing with a lady they call Keisha. See a little bit of sauce from Miss Keisha. Fill my lungs with the breath of Miss Keisha. Yeah, I'm talking about that Keisha.
Keisha be her first, Kush be her last. Something like the king tried to take it off the map. Baby, keep me vibing when them haters on my ass. Vivid be my thoughts when Keisha help me relax. Cruising through my lungs like a diamond in the back with a gangster link. Baby, keep me on task. No romance, just grass. Say my turn up so vegan, I like it shining and gleaming. She got that natural bedazzle. She keep me choking and fiending. I call her asthma attacker. A funky little gasser. Around I pass her while we commune a bit. Call it kicking that shit. Might just get you a six, so gonna get you a sponge. I may just drizzle some game. Better soak it up quick. Talk to Keisha like that. We swear that's some regular shit.
Keisha, Keisha, got me vibing with a lady.
Keisha just sounds like a strain called Keisha. Smoke that.
It is.
A strain called Keisha. That was a whole strain right there. Smoke it.
Find me vibing with a lady they call Keisha. See a little bit of
Here come Goddess coming up.
Fill my lungs with the breath of Miss Keisha.
Goddess.
Yeah, I'm talking about
Keisha Sativa.
She pulling up when I need her. She really a rare breeder. Baby hustle, she a bleeder, not blood. You know what it was, it's love. I fuck with cuz. Keisha come through with that knowledge and give you a mental buzz. It's something about these hips, baby. I thought she super thick. I don't really be loving girls, but I'm crushing on this chick. We burning like candlewick and I can't lie, all these shit. She take me up to cloud nine. All I feel with her is bliss. All I feel with her is bliss. I might make her my miss. My one and only wish is to give Keisha a kiss.
Keisha, Keisha, find me vibing with a lady they call Keisha.
Beef, man.
See a little bit of sauce from Miss
Thank
Keisha.
you. Appreciate it.
Fill my lungs with the breath of Miss
That's
Keisha.
dope, man.
I'm talking about that Keisha. Vibing with a lady they call Keisha. See a little bit of sauce from Miss Keisha. Fill my lungs with the breath of Miss Keisha. I'm talking about that Keisha, Keisha.
Thank
That
you
was it, that
so
was it.
much, H. Thanks for doing this. I know you have to run off to another event. Do you
Yes.
want to tell everybody really quickly what you do and how to find you?
Yeah.
Are you in Atlanta?
No, I'm in Las Vegas. But real quick
Ooh, I'm
and
coming to
fast.
Las Vegas, bro.
I appreciate you. We have a company called Hitmaker Society. What we do is focus on creatives. We give creatives the opportunity to be able to get their music, their films, their ideas out. So we're pretty much the middleman, so they don't have to go to the industry on stuff, but they still can. We get them pretty much prepared. We work on Bigo. We record shows on Bigo. We do music. It's a lot of things. If you guys want to reach us, hitmakersociety.com, singular, hitmakersociety.com. You can hit us here on Bigo as well, HMS Castings or HMS Media. And yeah, we'll definitely work something out with you, especially if you're talented. We'll work it out.
All right. I'm not talented, but I know some spiritual things.
There's auto tune.
No.
I'm sure he could make it sound
Yeah,
great.
I was going to talk to you about some other stuff,
No,
sir.
I would love to.
Yeah, I was going to talk to you about some other stuff, sir. We do movies and stuff as well. I got some scripts. I want to be able to put some of those concepts in movies, so we can talk later on that.
Oh,
Yeah, no, right on. Yeah. But I like your mind.
Yes, sir. I feel that's the only way we can truly learn. Well, the only way we can truly learn is using those senses.
Or maybe you can do a ceremony movie. Like maybe you can film ceremony.
Yeah, that'd be nice. Make a movie based off of someone going on to the ceremony. That'd be nice.
Mm-hmm. Or we can make an album called "Fuck It."
Yeah.
And it's a whole album about God.
Yeah, that's hot. I love
God said "fuck it" one day. We didn't hear it.
Yeah.
But now they're gonna hear it. Everybody's gonna learn.
I love it. That's a
nug.
nug.
I love it. Okay, we got 3 minutes to get H to where he's got to go. So
I appreciate you guys.
I'm gonna
Thank you, H.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you, sir.
No problem.
Came out. It was an awesome night. It was absolutely amazing. The connections, the synergy, everyone's responses were amazing. Your journeys. Thank you so much for sharing your journeys with us. And I'm so excited about the new connections and all that's to come. Like right here in this room tonight, we're about to do so much beautiful things.
Yes.
So I'm Goddess Trends. This is my broadcast, The Goddess Life. You have been tuning in to the Goddess Lounge. We have had Colin and Andrea as our very special guests. Goddess Music and the Sage touched the stage to perform as well. And HMS Casting. Thank you, Rose, for coming through. And Helena, I don't know if she's still in the building, but thank you to everyone who touched the stage tonight. Thank you, Rolo. And we'll see you guys next time. Happy Earth Day.
Yes. Peace. Happy Earth Day.
Sacred Earth Mama.
Fuck your mama.
Also, anybody want to see what we just filmed? Anybody want to see what we just filmed? If you go to YouTube and go type in HMS Network and then LIVE for live, because it's a live show, then you'll be able to see this show. We have it up right now.
Dope. I'm going to send it to my mama.
Okay. Yeah.
Awesome.
Got you, guys.